Alright folks, imagine this for a second. You're at the gas station. You buy a coffee, hand over a $5 bill, and the cashier gives you back a few coins. You throw them into your cup holder and forget about them. But what if I told you one of those coins could be worth 1.6 million bucks? That's right. A single penny. 1 cent worth more than your house, your car, and probably your cousin's bad decisions combined. Where we turn pocket change into power plays. Today, we're diving into one of the most insane coins in circulation, the 1988 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's shockingly been valued at $1.6 million on the current market. So grab your coffee, your magnifying glass, and maybe that jar of pennies sitting in your garage. Because this episode might just make you a millionaire. Let's break it down. First off, why would a 1988 penny, of all years, be worth 7 figures? It's not made of gold. It doesn't glow in the dark. It's not signed by Abraham Lincoln himself. So what's the big deal? Here's the scoop. The 1988 no-mint Mark penny is the result of a unique minting anomaly that's incredibly rare. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't carry a mint mark. That's not unusual. But this particular 1988 penny? It's not just missing a mint mark. It also has a very rare transitional error. A transitional error is when the mint accidentally uses the wrong die from a different year during production. Think of it like putting the wrong shoes on the right feet. So in this case, a die from a 1989 penny got mixed in with the 1988 batch. It's subtle. Most folks wouldn't notice. But coin experts did. And boy, did they freak out. You know how in baseball a rookie card with a printing error becomes more valuable? Same thing here. Coin collectors love errors. They're like the typos of the numismatic world, and people will pay big money for them. Now I know what you're thinking. Alright, smart guy, how do I know if my 1988 penny is the one? Well, here's what to look for. The telltale sign is the reverse of the coin. You need to look very closely at the designer's initials, which are located near the bottom of the Lincoln Memorial. On most 1988 pennies, you'll see the initials, FG, nice and crisp. But on the rare $1 million version, those initials were engraved using the 1989 reverse die, which means the initials look different, almost like they're a little off or flat. It's subtle, but distinct. If you spot that, you might be sitting on a gold mine, and this isn't just rumor mill nonsense. One of these bad boys actually sold at auction for a whopping $1.6 million. That's real. That's verified. That's life-changing. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his old workshop. Now, my uncle is what I like to call a borderline hoarder. The man has everything from rusty tools to magazines from 1973 stacked up like they're national treasures. As we're hauling out boxes, I come across this old Folgers coffee can, the metal kind, you know the one. Inside it? Pennies. Hundreds of them. I almost dumped the whole thing into a Coinstar machine right then and there, but something told me, hey, you talk about coins for a living. Maybe actually check them. So I did. And lo and behold, I didn't find a $1 million penny, don't get your hopes up, but I did find a 1983 double die reverse penny worth over $200. That paid for gas and a cheeseburger, and I'll take it. Alright, back to our 1988 superstar. If you think you might have one of these rare coins, here's what you do. First, don't clean it. I repeat, do not clean the coin. That'll destroy its value faster than your dog chewing on it. Next, get a good magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Check those initials on the back, then, if it looks promising, get in touch with a professional coin grader like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it and assign a grade. The higher the grade, the higher the value. A penny in mint condition is worth way more than one that's been in your pocket since the Reagan administration. Let's talk strategy. If you're into this kind of treasure hunting, here's how to up your odds. Start by checking change you get in daily transactions. Yes, seriously. The amount of rare coins that go unnoticed in regular circulation is wild. Next, hit up estate sales, yard sales, flea markets. Sometimes people get rid of coin jars without realizing what's inside, and if you're a little more ambitious, start rolls hunting. You can get a box of pennies from the bank, that's 50 rolls, and comb through them at home. I know folks who found coins worth hundreds doing this. Make it fun. Get your kids involved. Make a game out of it. Winner finds the weirdest coin and loser has to do the dishes. Alright folks, we've gone on quite the penny adventure today. Who would have thought that a little copper coin from 1988, a year most of us remember for mullets and cassette tapes, could be worth more than a luxury car? The truth is, these coins are still out there. They weren't all snatched up by collectors. Some are probably sitting in jars, drawers, and yes, maybe even in your couch cushions right now. So the next time someone hands you change, don't just stuff it in your pocket. Take a peek. You might be holding a piece of American history, and a one-way ticket to a fat payday. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips, tricks, and crazy coin stories, hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. Smash that like, ring the bell, and drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin or if you've got a penny stash you're about to inspect. Alright folks, grab your coin jars, check between those couch cushions, and for the love of spare change, do not walk past another penny again. Because today, we're talking about a little copper coin that could turn your regular pocket change into a millionaire's dream. That's right. There is a 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny out there, and it's worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Now I know what you're thinking. A penny? From 1967? No mint mark? Sounds about as exciting as leftover meatloaf, right? But trust me, this isn't your average penny. This little guy could buy you a house, a few cars, and still leave enough for an epic vacation. So sit tight, because we're diving deep into the mystery, rarity, and market madness behind this humble coin that's flipping the world of collectors upside down. But before we get into all that, let me tell you a quick story. Back in the day, I used to toss pennies into a coffee can thinking I'd cash them in one day for pizza money. Fast forward 20 years, I find out I had been sitting on a small fortune, and yeah, I had already spent it all on pepperoni and root beer. Don't be like past me. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of why this 1967 penny is turning heads in the coin collecting world and how you might just have one sitting in your change drawer right now. Now normally, these pennies are pretty common. The US Mint pumped out over 3 billion of them that year. Yeah, billion with a B. So it's fair to ask, why would one of these be worth more than a Ferrari? Here's the kicker. While most 1967 pennies were made with regular specs, a handful, just a teeny tiny number, were minted with unique characteristics that make collectors go bananas. We're talking about error coins. We're talking about super high grades. And we're talking about no mint marks. Now the no mint mark thing might sound weird, but in 1967, the US Mint intentionally removed mint marks from all coins. It was part of an effort to discourage coin hoarding during a coin shortage. But here's the twist: while that was standard, certain combinations of errors, conditions, and grading from that year make some of these coins extremely rare, and rare equals valuable. Now, for a coin to reach that crazy $1.7 million price tag, it's gotta have something real special going on. A rare minting error, like a double die or off-center strike, an unusually high-grade condition, like MS67 or higher, perfect, untouched luster and shine certified by top grading services like PCGS or NGC. In the case of this mega million-dollar 1967 penny, it was a flawless beauty. We're talking perfect centering, full red luster, not a single fingerprint on it, and graded at the top of the top. Combine that with how few examples like it exist, and bam, you get a coin that makes headlines and makes millionaires. A couple years back, I found an old coffee can at my uncle's garage sale labeled junk pennies. Being the coin geek I am, I asked if I could take a look. He says, "Sure, take the whole thing. It's just trash." Music to my ears. I get home, start going through them, and what do I find? A 1967 penny. No mint mark. Shiny little thing too. My heart starts racing. I run to the computer, look up the grading scale, and suddenly I'm sweating like I just ran a marathon in a sauna. It wasn't the one. Mine was scratched up and looked like it had been through a blender. But for those 30 minutes before I knew, I felt like I was on top of the world. So believe me, when I say check your pennies, I mean check your pennies. This is normal for 1967, so it's not enough on its own. No scratches, no wear, looks like it just left the mint. This means the penny has its original copper color, untouched by time. Double dyes, misstrikes, or off-center designs make coins super collectible. Send it off to PCGS or NGC to get the official word. If you have a penny that checks most or all of those boxes, you might be sitting on a gold mine, or copper mine. I guess the highest recorded sale for a 1967 penny was just under $1.7 million. That sale shook the numismatic world. Since then, collectors have been on a treasure hunt for another example, and even if your coin isn't the $1 million one, many 1967 pennies in excellent condition still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. It's not just about one magical coin, it's about understanding what makes them valuable and keeping your eyes peeled for those subtle clues that your spare change might be worth more than your car. That a little copper coin from 1967 could put a mansion-sized dent in your bank account, in the best way possible. And that, yes, you really should be checking those coffee cans, junk drawers, and old coin jars. Look, nobody thought a penny could be worth millions. But here we are. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and if you stick around, I'll help you uncover more of them. Now if you enjoyed this video, learned something new, or just like hearing about coins that make your wallet jealous, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Ring the notification bell so you never miss a coin tip. And drop a comment below if you've got any interesting 1967 pennies or stories of your own. Trust me, we're just scratching the surface. There's a whole world of treasure out there waiting to be found, and it might just be in your pocket. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. What if I told you that a tiny little 1-cent coin sitting in your junk drawer could be worth $1.8 million? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. A penny? That's not even enough to buy a stick of gum. But guess what? There's a very specific 1992 Lincoln penny that has folks losing their minds at auctions. And today, we're gonna dive headfirst into the story of that $1 million cent. So grab your coffee, maybe dig through that change jar on your kitchen counter, and let's talk about how a coin that's smaller than a cookie can bring you closer to becoming a millionaire. And hey, I've got a funny story about my own penny hunting adventure that'll make you feel a little better about your own quirks. Trust me, this is gonna be a wild ride. Alright, let's start with the star of the show, the 1992 Lincoln penny. It's got a D mint mark, which means it was struck in Denver. Now, most of these are pretty common, right? You could probably find a handful of them rolling around under your car seat. But we're not just talking about any 1992 penny. We're talking about one very specific era coin, the 1992 close AM variety. Flip over your penny and look at the back. You'll see the words, United States of America, and then that good old motto, 1 cent. Just under that is the word, America. On most pennies, the letters A and M in America are spaced out a bit. But on this rare error, they're snuggled up real close like two teenagers at a school dance. That's what we call the close AM variety, and that small difference, that barely noticeable shift in spacing, is what makes this coin so valuable. Because it shouldn't exist. It was the result of a minting mistake where they used the reverse design from 1993 on a 1992 coin. That's like putting this year's frosting on last year's birthday cake. Sounds weird, but collectors go nuts for it. Now let me tell you how rare this thing is. We're talking unicorn rare. Out of the billions of pennies minted, only a handful of these 1992 close AMs have ever been found. We're not just talking about pocket change anymore, this is serious treasure, and if you're wondering just how serious, one of these babies sold for a mind-blowing $1.8 million at auction. Yeah, for a penny. The kind that gets stuck between your couch cushions or tossed in the tip jar at the diner. Makes you want to check every coin you've ever spent, doesn't it? Now I promised you a personal story, so here it goes. A few years back, I was at my buddy Rick's garage sale. You know the kind: used golf clubs, a blender with one blade, and a box of old coins sitting under a table. Now Rick doesn't care about coins. He was selling them by the handful for $5 a bag. I thought, what the heck, let me grab a couple. So I took those coins home, dumped them out on my kitchen table, and started looking through them like some treasure-hungry pirate. And there it was, a 1992 D penny. My heart did a little cha-cha. I flipped it over and checked that AM in America. But nope. Those letters were socially distant. Classic white AM. My $1,000,000 dream? Crushed in 1 second flat. Still, that moment sparked something in me. I've been coin hunting ever since. And I've learned a ton about which coins are actually worth money and which ones are just, well, pennies. Isn't the only valuable penny out there. There are all sorts of hidden treasures in your spare change. You just need to know what to look for. That's where the strategies come in. If you're serious about finding these valuable coins, you've got to get in the habit of checking every single penny that passes through your hands. Look at the mint mark. Flip it over. Check the details. And invest in a magnifier, because trust me, your eyes aren't getting any younger. Hit up local coin shows and estate sales. Sometimes people sell off collections without realizing what they've got. That's where you swoop in like a coin ninja and snag the good stuff. Family, if you can look through their change jars. Offer to split anything you find. Most folks won't care, and you never know what's hiding in someone's sock drawer. You also want to keep up with coin market trends. Values can spike when collectors are especially eager or when new discoveries are made. That 1992 D close AM? It used to be a mystery. Now it's legendary. So, there you have it. A humble 1992 D penny, one tiny copper coin, could be your golden ticket to $1.8 million. All because of a tiny printing error on the back. It's like the mint sneezed in 1992 and accidentally created a millionaire maker. Now I know what you're gonna do next. You're gonna dive into your couch cushions, raid your piggy bank, and flip over every penny you can find. And you should. Because these stories aren't just about luck, they're about looking, learning, and being ready to strike when you find that rare gem. And if you want more tips, strategies, and stories about coins that can change your life, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and join the crew. I'll keep bringing the knowledge, the laughs, and the coin hunting strategies that'll keep your pockets full and your mind sharp. Don't let a $1,000,000 penny slip through your fingers. Check those coins. Share your finds. And stay curious. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Have you ever dug through your old change jar, pulled out a rusty penny, and thought, could this little guy be worth a fortune? Well, today, I'm about to blow your mind with a penny that might just be sitting in your pocket or hiding in that dusty drawer, the 1962 D Lincoln penny. Yep, you heard me right, the humble 1-cent coin that could be worth $1 million. That's not a typo, $1 million. So buckle up, because I'm about to take you on a wild ride through history, rarity, and some pretty crazy coin magic. And hey, if you love discovering hidden treasures and want to get smarter about spotting coins worth serious money, stick around and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1962 D Lincoln penny. For those of you who aren't coin nerds yet, this is a penny minted in 1962 at the Denver Mint, hence the D mint mark. You know, back in the day, pennies were made mostly of copper, not that zinc stuff they use now. And copper pennies have always been a favorite for collectors, but what makes the 1962 D penny so special? Why would anyone pay $1 million for a coin worth, what, 1 cent? Well, that's where the story gets interesting. It's not just about the coin's age or copper content. It's about rarity, condition, and a little thing called a mint error, or collector's demand. Now, before you run to your grandma's coin jar, let me tell you about my first encounter with a coin worth a fortune. I was about 10 years old, and I found a shiny penny under the couch cushion. I thought, hey, cool, a penny. But it wasn't just any penny. It was a 1955 double-die penny, one of the rarest and most valuable pennies in the world. I had no idea at the time. My dad took one look, nearly fell off his chair, and said, "Son, you might have just found your college fund." Spoiler alert, I didn't sell it immediately, and I still regret it, but that moment sparked my love for coin collecting, back to our 1962 D. Lincoln penny. What's crazy is, this coin is one of the last of the classic copper pennies before they started messing around with the metal content in the late 60s. But the real kicker is its scarcity in mint condition. Most pennies from that year are common as dirt, but the ones that survived without a scratch, without wear, with that original mint luster? Those are gems. Collectors call these coins high-grade uncirculated, and those coins can command jaw-dropping prices. Another factor pushing the 1962 D penny to that $1 million mark is the story behind the mint. The Denver Mint was churning out millions of pennies, but only a few escaped the usual circulation beatings without any marks, dents, or fading. Those few pristine coins have become prized possessions, almost like the holy grail for Lincoln penny collectors. Sometimes coins like this gain value from famous ownership, provenance, or auction records. There was a recent auction where a 1962 D. Lincoln penny in flawless condition sold for close to $1 million. It made headlines because people can't believe a coin so small, so ordinary looking, can be worth that much. Now, you're probably thinking, how do I spot one of these? What should I look for? First, check the mint mark. The little D under the date? That's your Denver Mint clue. Second, condition is king. No scratches, no dings, original color. If it looks shiny like it just came out of a time machine, you're on to something. Third, get it authenticated and graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. This will officially prove its condition and rarity. And remember, even if your penny isn't worth $1 million, it could still be worth a few bucks, or even a few $100s, which is way better than that 1 cent you paid. Okay, let me lighten things up with another quick story. A buddy of mine once found a rare penny at a flea market. He paid $5 for it and was sure he had struck gold. Turns out it was just a regular penny with a funny scratch. We joked about it for weeks, calling it his $1 million mistake. But hey, that's part of the fun with coin collecting. You never know what treasure lies hidden in plain sight. If you do find something valuable, don't freak out. Take your time, research, and get professional advice. The coin market can be tricky, and you want to make sure you get the most out of your find. The 1962 D. Lincoln penny is proof that sometimes the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. Whether you're a casual collector or a full-on coin hunter, keep your eyes peeled, your hands steady, and your curiosity alive. You might just have $1 million coin sitting right under your nose. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare pennies, hit that subscribe button, join the family, and stay tuned for more tips, stories, and secrets about coins worth serious money. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next treasure we uncover together. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep hunting, keep smiling, and remember, sometimes luck is just a penny away. Hey there, coin hunters and penny pinchers. Welcome back to the channel where we dig deep into the hidden treasures hiding in plain sight in your pocket change. Today, I've got a story that's gonna make you look twice at those little pennies you might have been tossing in your jar or just ignoring on the sidewalk. We're talking about a very special coin, the 1994 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Sounds like just another penny, right? Well, hold on to your hats because this little copper disc could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yeah, you heard that right. Million with an M. Stick around because I'm going to break down why this penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and maybe just maybe, you'll be lucky enough to find one yourself. Plus, I'll share a funny little story from my own coin hunting adventures that might just save you from throwing away your future fortune. So first off, what makes this 1994 penny so special? Most pennies from that year have a mint mark, usually a little D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia, right? But this one? It has no mint mark at all. And that's rare. Real rare. Like spotting a unicorn rare. Here's the deal. The US Mint usually stamps a letter on coins to tell you where they were made. Philadelphia pennies usually don't have a mint mark for that year, but there's a twist with the 1994 penny. The no mint mark penny from that year is a rare variety, sometimes called an error coin, which means it slipped through the cracks of the minting process. Those errors are what coin collectors love, because rarity drives value. Now, before you start digging through your couch cushions, let me tell you about the market value. Right now, this coin is worth roughly $1.1 million. Yes, that's million with an M. But hold your horses, because not every 1994 penny without a mint mark is instantly a millionaire. Condition is king here. If your penny looks like it just survived a zombie apocalypse, it won't fetch that price. But if it's in pristine condition, shiny and perfect, well, you could be holding the coin equivalent of a winning lottery ticket. Okay, now let me share a little personal story. A few years back, I was helping a friend clean out his grandma's attic. We found a box full of old coins, all dusty and forgotten. I casually flipped through them and spotted a 1994 penny with no mint mark. I thought, maybe this is just a regular penny, right? So I tossed it in my pocket. Later, when I got home, I decided to check its value online. To my surprise, this little guy could be worth thousands. I rushed back to my friend and said, "You might want to take a closer look at those coins." Turns out, his grandma had a tiny treasure trove all along. Moral of the story: never underestimate the pennies you find lying around. You never know when a simple coin could be a gold mine. Now, if you want to know how to identify a genuine 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny, here's what you do. First, look closely at the obverse side, that's the front with Lincoln's portrait. You want to see if there's absolutely no letter near the date. If you spot a D or a P, keep looking. No letter? You might have something special. Then check the condition: shiny, no scratches or discoloration, and sharp details. Be careful with counterfeits. Yes, there are people out there making fake pennies to fool collectors. So if you think you've got a valuable one, get it verified by a professional coin grader or a reputable dealer before celebrating. Alright, here's a quick fun fact. Abraham Lincoln was the first U.S. president to be featured on a penny, starting way back in 1909, to celebrate his 100th birthday. The penny has been one of the most common coins in the U.S. for over a century. But this 1994 no mint mark coin? It's like the rare celebrity cameo in a blockbuster movie, unexpected and priceless. Now, some of you might be wondering, how many of these coins are actually out there? Well, the exact number is a bit of a mystery, but estimates suggest only a handful exist in top condition, making it a holy grail for collectors. Let's also talk about the market. Coin collecting has exploded in popularity over the last decade. With the rise of online auctions and collectors from around the world, prices for rare coins have soared. The 1994 no mint mark penny fits right into that trend. So if you happen to have one, you're sitting on a very hot commodity. Before we wrap this section up, a quick note on selling. If you ever decide to cash in on your penny fortune, don't just sell it to the first buyer who knocks on your door. Get multiple appraisals and use trusted auction houses or dealers. Remember, it's not just about the coin but who you sell it to. The 1994 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny isn't just spare change, it could be a ticket to serious cash. It's rare, it's valuable, and it's a reminder that sometimes, big things come in small, shiny packages. Next time you find a penny, don't just say, "There goes a penny," and move on. Look closer, check for mint marks, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find your own hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable pennies, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any more coin tips, treasure hunts, and money-making strategies. Trust me, the coin world is full of surprises and I'll be here to help you spot the next big find. Thanks for hanging out today, keep your eyes sharp and your pockets heavy.